What's up guys, Asal here, and today I'm bringing you a video that I hope will improve your kill-death ratio in Battlefield 4 and just in general make you a more effective infantry player. Now I know in past videos I have said that your kill-death ratio isn't really as important as playing the objective and having a good score. Now that is true, that is very true. You could have all of the bomb plants on your team and have 0 kills and you are doing just a fine job. But say in modes like I'm playing Team Deathmatch right now, the objective is to have a good kill-death ratio. So there are definitely instances where having a good kill-death ratio is important. And also, if you are playing the objective and doing well, you might as well get some kills while you're at it, because that is really when the game gets fun. And, you know, dying, if you're being effective and you're dying, sure, you are helping, but you're dying a lot, and that is frustrating. So having a good kill-death ratio, as it's not really important to winning games, it is definitely important to just enjoying yourself and not dying of frustration, no pun intended there. Now the first bit of advice I want to give you is just to be patient. Just slow down your gameplay and think about what you're doing. Battlefield is not a run and gun game. You really need to think about what you're doing, and you don't want to get yourself into bad situations where you're most likely going to die. So say for example you're chasing an enemy and he runs around a corner and he knows you're chasing him. It can be extremely tempting to just run around the corner and try to finish him off, when in reality a lot of the time he's just sitting there aiming down sights waiting for you to come around the corner and just destroys you. Now I urge you to just be patient, wait for the enemy to come to you, and even if the enemy does run away, there's no harm there. You haven't died, you haven't gained a kill, your score hasn't been affected at all. Now if you did chase after that enemy, and say there's 2 enemies around the corner and you kill one and then you die, that's a kill and a death, so that really cancels itself out, and it really isn't a wise decision, because then you're just dying, you're taking yourself out of the action. So overall, chasing enemies to get a kill if you know you'll die, or even you think you won't die but it's just a risky situation, I urge you to just not do those things. Just be patient, wait for the enemy to come to you. If you know the enemy is in a situation where you can get the jump on him, by all means go ahead. But for the most part, you don't want to go blindly running around corners when you don't even know how many enemies are going to be there. Now the next tip is something that I actually suffer from a lot, and that is holding your reload. After almost every kill, for whatever reason, I just instinctively reload, and I think a lot of players do this, and this has gotten me into a lot of bad situations where there's 2 enemies, or there's 2 enemies and I didn't actually even see the second one, and I kill one, start the reload, the second enemy comes around the corner, finishes me off, and I'm just sitting there with no clip in my gun. Now, this is really frustrating, and I need to work on this, but for whatever reason, it's hard. So these are the kind of things that you just need to constantly be reminding yourself. Just hold the reload, kill a guy, wait a little bit, make sure the coast is clear, and then reload your weapon. Now the next tip is just to remember that you have a pistol. Don't forget that you have a pistol. It's there for a reason, and it can save your life. Say you get into a situation, there's 3 enemies, you take down 2 with your main weapon, and then you run out of ammunition. Instead of waiting to reload before taking down the 3rd guy, you can much more quickly switch to your pistol than it would take to reload, and if you're good with your pistol, you can most likely take out the 3rd enemy. Now this is another good reason to actually use a pistol that you enjoy and actually unlock attachments for your pistol. Now I just went to a pistols only match to do this because it does actually take quite a lot of kills to do it normally. So remember that you have that sidearm. My sidearm has saved me in a lot of situations, and I've got a lot better at remembering that I have one, and it's much more effective to just quickly swap weapons rather than waiting for your 2-second reload to complete. Now probably the most important tip in this video is to use your minimap. Your minimap is so useful. It can show you where your team is, it can show you where the enemy team generally is, it can show you where you need to go, where you can find ammo, where you can find health packs. The minimap is extremely useful, and don't forget about it. When you're looking at the minimap, it's so easy to know where the enemy position is, where you are, where your teammates are, and it allows you to just make an informed decision on what route you want to take, as to get a flank on the enemies, or stick with your teammates, or just in general make a well-informed decision about which objectives you want to capture. Now one last note about the minimap: if you're finding it is zoomed in too far or zoomed out too much, you can actually press the N key on your keyboard if you are playing on a PC, and it will zoom in or zoom out the minimap depending on what setting it is already on, making it much easier to see enemies on the smaller maps, or if you want a larger field of view for bigger maps. Now the next thing I want to talk about is just being aware of your surroundings. When you're moving around the map, you want to move from cover to cover, and you want to minimize the time that you are out in the open. And every time you make a movement, every time you set up a position anywhere, you always want to be aware of your angles of exposure. And when I say angles of exposure, I mean the sides of you that are exposed to potential fire from any given direction. Now, a lot of this really comes down to just knowing the map and comes down to practice, and I still find this a lot of the time where I'll know the map, I just won't even think about it. I'll just tunnel vision on a guy and I'll get shot from the right, and I'll be like, where was that guy? And I'll look, and it's just, I'm completely out in the open, completely exposed, and then I just kind of feel like an idiot. And as I said, this isn't something that just kind of comes by nature. This is the kind of thing that you need to constantly remind yourself of, and to ensure that you are always behind cover, or the areas of you that are exposed aren't in a position that will be susceptible to fire from the enemy team. And the last thing that I want to talk about today is to not go it alone. As I have said previously, Battlefield is a team game, and it is not a game where you can just run and gun. When you are moving into a position, you want to be with your team, or at least with your squad, because if you're going in alone, chances are you aren't going to do very well, and maybe you'll get super lucky and pull off some kind of a Rambo kill streak, but that is not something that happens a lot of the time. And to really do well, having your teammates there to back you up is super important, and as I've said before, it is a team game. You're not going to succeed by just running and gunning by yourself. Have you ever noticed why there are no free-for-all modes in Battlefield 4? That is because this is a team game. It is not something that you can just go alone and expect to just carry the entire team. You want to stick with your teammates, keep each other alive, and work together. So guys, I hope these tips have given you a starting point to improving your kill death ratio in Battlefield 4. I know these things, some of them seem really basic and really common sense, but I struggle with a lot of them personally, and they are definitely the kind of things that, as I've said multiple times, you need to always be thinking about these things and always reminding yourself of them. So guys, of course, if you have found this video helpful, by all means leave a like, leave a comment letting me know if you thought it was helpful or not. But guys, I thank you for stopping by to watch this video, and if you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel. I do videos like this all the time. I'm definitely here to help you guys on your way to becoming a better Battlefield player. So guys, with that, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.